Conventionally attractive people. What's the worst thing you've experienced due to your looks? I lost my entire teaching career because parents couldn't believe someone who looked like me actually wanted to teach high school English. It started during parent-teacher conferences. This one mom kept making comments like, "You're so young and pretty, why aren't you modeling?" Or, "My son talks about you constantly." I brushed it off. Kids have harmless crushes all the time. Then her son, Jason, started staying after class to ask questions about Shakespeare. Normal stuff. I'd help him, usually with my door wide open and other students around. Nothing weird. Until his mom showed up at the principal's office, claiming I was grooming her son. She said there was no way someone who looked like me would voluntarily work with teenagers unless I had ulterior motives. She demanded an investigation. The principal called me in that same afternoon. I remember sitting in his office, genuinely confused, thinking this was some misunderstanding we'd clear up in 5 minutes. But the way he looked at me, like I was already guilty, made my stomach drop. They put me on administrative leave immediately. Paid, but I wasn't allowed on campus. Wasn't allowed to contact students. They took my keys, my badge, escorted me to my classroom to get my personal belongings while a security guard watched. Like I was a criminal. I called my union rep, shaking so hard I could barely hold my phone. She told me to get a lawyer. That's when I knew how serious this was. The investigation felt endless. They interviewed students, parents, went through my emails, my lesson plans, even my social media. I gave them everything willingly because I had nothing to hide, but waiting for them to clear my name was torture. Meanwhile, Jason's mom wasn't quiet. She posted in the parent Facebook groups, vague at first, then more direct. Concerned about inappropriate relationships at the school, parents started connecting dots that didn't exist. My name came up, screenshots got shared, other parents joined her crusade. They said I dressed too nicely for a teacher, that I wore makeup and heels. One mother actually wrote to the superintendent saying my appearance was inappropriate for a learning environment, and that I was clearly trying to get attention from male students. I stopped sleeping, stopped eating. I'd lie awake at night replaying every interaction I'd ever had with Jason, with any student, wondering what I could have done differently. My boyfriend at the time tried to be supportive, but even he started asking questions like, "Did you maybe send the wrong signals?" That hurt worse than anything. My colleagues distanced themselves. Teachers I'd eaten lunch with for 3 years suddenly had meetings during lunch. No one texted me, no one called. I was toxic, and they didn't want to be associated with whatever this was. The school board meeting where they discussed my contract was public. I sat there while parents I'd never met stood up and talked about me like I was a predator. One dad said, "Women like her don't become teachers. They marry rich." The board didn't defend me, not once. When they voted not to renew my contract, they used words like disruptive presence and said my appearance was too distracting to the learning environment. Not that I did anything wrong, just that I existed in a way that made them uncomfortable. I was 26 years old, and my career was over. I applied to other schools, but word spreads fast in education. No one would touch me. Even with the investigation clearing me of any wrongdoing, the stain remained. I ended up working retail, then reception at a dentist's office. Every time someone asked what I did before, I'd lie. The shame was unbearable. 3 years later, Jason's mom called me crying. Turns out Jason had confessed that he made up stories to impress his friends, and she ran with it because she was going through a messy divorce and needed someone to blame. The security footage she demanded, it showed exactly what I said. A teacher helping a student with the door open. She apologized. I never taught again.